Good old Facebook Marketplace, the place where you can find unbelievable deals on everything that you want. Or you can have your entire bank account drained completely. Oh no. What's going on, guys? My name is Ryan from the PC Rehab, and I am an addict, and I'm addicted to Facebook Marketplace. Okay, so I'm not actually addicted to it, but I do spend like an unhealthy amount of time on Facebook Marketplace, and that's because I do something on my channel called the Build Up Challenge, and that requires me to purchase large amounts of used PC hardware so that I can sell computers and make a profit, and I come across scams all the time. Now, obviously, I hope it goes without saying that I hope you're watching this video to learn how to not get scammed, rather than you're watching this video because you were already scammed and you're doing research on it, because gosh, I'd hate for you to have lost money. We all work incredibly hard for our money, and the last thing that we want to do is lose our money to a scammer. And because nobody wants to lose their money, we are going to talk about a few different scams that I have come across on Facebook Marketplace to hopefully help you not get caught up in some stupid scam that's going to cause you to lose your money. Or worse, have your identity stolen. Now, as this channel is a computer and PC hardware channel, most of the references that I am going to be using are about computers or computer hardware, but all of these scams, they apply to anything that you are trying to purchase from Facebook Marketplace, not just computer stuff. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about is the shipping scam. Now, this was something that's been around for a little while, but lately I have been seeing this pop up more and more. And what it is they will post an item on Facebook Marketplace at a price that is extremely enticing. Not out of the realm of possibilities, but it's low enough to make you feel like this could be real and you would consider purchasing it from them. Now, I did want to give you a good example of this scam, so I went on Facebook Marketplace and I found one, and it only took me like 5 minutes to find one of these scams. And I got it pulled up on my phone right here. So what they've done is they've listed a Gigabyte Aorus GeForce RTX 4080 16 gigabyte master card. Now, this is an extremely desirable card. A lot of people would love to have a 4080 graphics card, and they priced it at $420 when a 4080 in reality is somewhere around $1,000, and if it's used, maybe $900. It's still a very strong, very current card. So a price tag of $420 sounds great, and it's priced high enough to where maybe it's not a scam. And all the while, you can only purchase it through shipping. You can't local pick up this. Now, if you scroll down just a little bit past the description on that listing, you will see the seller's profile. And if the seller has been selling a few things and has a good reputation, that's where you would see their star rating and how many reviews they've got. And in this instance, you can see that she has 0 reviews, but there is a seller details button right next to it. Let's go ahead and click that. Now, in her seller details, you can see the graphics card that originally enticed us to click on her ad, and you can also see that she is selling a pretty expensive camera and a pretty expensive tablet, as well as some extremely cheap generic t-shirts. But not one of them says that they were sold. Okay, so this lady has no star rating on her profile. She also has not sold any of the items. It may be plausible that it's not a scam. But wait, when I back out of that listing and I just do a little bit more searching, I find a very similar ad. What we have here is a Gigabyte Aorus GeForce RTX 4080 16 gig master graphics card for $488. Also, only available through shipping. And if you scroll down to the seller information, it's a different lady. And if you click on her seller details, you see the graphics card that originally enticed us to click her listing. You also see a pretty expensive drone and more random clothing. Those seem pretty similar to me. If you're still not convinced, 3 posts down, we can find an ad for a Gigabyte Aorus Master GeForce RTX 4080 Super this time, 16 gig gaming graphics card by a guy this time. Maybe guys are more trustworthy? Well, let's click his seller information and find out. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the graphics card that originally enticed us to click that listing, a Apple laptop that is also a pretty decent value, and clothes. I don't understand the clothing thing. Listen, a lot of the times, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Now, that's not always the case on Facebook Marketplace because I have found some insane deals there, but you definitely want to make sure that you do a little bit of digging before you go ahead and trust anyone with shipping, because you're gonna pay this dude and he's gonna ship you absolutely nothing. So the next scam that I want to talk about is a little thing that I call hide and seek. And that is where the scammer will not message you through the Marketplace Messenger tab. They will actually click your profile and message you directly. The reason that they do this is because if they message you through your main messenger instead of your Facebook Marketplace Messenger, then you don't have the ability to report them to Facebook Marketplace, which will allow them to continue to run their scams longer without having to create or hack into somebody else's profile to continue and try and scam people. Now, it's generally a Zelle scam or a Venmo scam, which we'll get into that in a little bit. But don't fall for their BS, because generally when you call them out on their BS, they get mad and throw a little temper tantrum and then they'll block you anyways. Now, let's talk for a second about unopened items and if you should purchase them. And the answer is for sure, yes, definitely. If it's a very good deal on an item that is unopened, where's the harm in that? But have them open it. So let's say hypothetically, you think you're buying a brand new power supply for your computer and you get there, you purchase it, you get home, you crack open that seal, you open up the box and it's full of rubber ducks or bricks or a picture of a dragon riding a unicorn. Why would a dragon ride a unicorn? That's a stupid question. Why wouldn't a dragon ride a unicorn? Listen, it all boils down to the fact that nobody can really be trusted, and you want to know 100% before you're gonna give them any of your money at all. Now, here's a fun one that applies to what I do a lot, but I mean, it could apply to people trying to buy like used cars and stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Is see it running before you purchase it. I'll give you an example. So this right here is a motherboard. It's not a very good motherboard, but it is a motherboard nonetheless. And can you tell me right now if this works or not? I mean, it is green. Green means go. It probably works, right? Listen, you can't take somebody's word that this works unless they can show you that it works. When I purchase items on Facebook Marketplace, I want them to test it. No matter what the item is, whether it's an iPad, a car, or a motherboard, a graphics card, I want to see that it works. But what do you do if you can't see it working? Well, then you just lie. I have told almost every single person that I have purchased like motherboards and CPUs from that I'm going to be bringing the equipment with me so that I can test that item and make sure that it works, and then I wait to see what they're going to say. If their response is, yeah, absolutely, you can test it all you want, then the chances of it being a legitimate item that works properly is pretty high. But if they immediately ghost you or come up with excuses as to why you can't test it, then I'd say there's a pretty strong possibility that the seller knows that what he's selling you is garbage and you shouldn't buy it. And that tip would apply to most things, including things like cars and TVs. You want to test it, and you want to at least lie and say that you're going to test it and then see how they react to it. Now, this one may seem like it's pretty obvious, but scammers still try this, so obviously somebody is falling for it or they wouldn't do it anymore, and that is the deposit scam. Now, what they'll usually do is they'll post an item that is, you know, something that's very desirable, and when you go to message them, they're gonna tell you something like, oh, I have 3 other people who are trying to buy this from me, I don't know who to pick. The first person to send me a $50 deposit on that item I'll save it for you. They're not saving anything for you. They just want you to pay them $50 and then you're out $50 and you're not gonna get anything. So if somebody ever asks you for any money up front, don't do that ever. Don't ever do that, no matter how excited you are about whatever fake item they are selling. And now it is time to talk about the Mac Daddy of all Facebook Marketplace scams, and that's the Zelle or Venmo scam. Now this scam generally happens when you are trying to sell an item on Facebook Marketplace, but I have seen it attempted when trying to purchase items. And I have received so many of these messages where somebody will message you, usually not on the Marketplace Messenger, about interest in whatever you are trying to sell. And then they will ask you questions about it. They will try to work up your confidence that this is actually a legitimate person who wants to purchase your item. And then what will happen is they'll say that they are out of town or on business trip or sick, and they want to send their niece, nephew, cousin, uncle, brother, whoever to come and pick up that item from you, and they're gonna send you the money through Zelle. Don't do that, ever. What they are hoping you will do is provide them information to where they can gain access to your bank account information and all of your money so that they can siphon every penny that you have in your bank account out. And then what they will do is they will go ahead and take all the money that they've stolen from you and they will move that money to a different account that has absolutely nothing to do with the bank account that they siphoned that money from. And now they just have your money. And that is not the only way that scammers use sites like Zelle and Venmo to rob you blind. A lot of times what you'll get is they'll want to pay for a $50 item that you're selling, and when they go to pay through Zelle or Venmo or Cash App, what's going to happen is they're going to send you $200 for a $50 item, and they're going to say, oh my goodness, I accidentally sent you $200 instead of $50. Can you send me back $150? Well, they paid you that $200 from a stolen credit card, and now you're paying them back with your funds. So when inevitably the person who owns that credit card reports it stolen, guess who's stuck holding that bag? You. Listen, here are the general rules. If it is too good to be true, there's a strong possibility that that's exactly what it is. It's too good to be true. Never, ever give anybody online any of your money unless you are standing face to face with them, holding the item that you wish to purchase. And always double check to make sure that what you are purchasing is exactly what they said it was, including if the item works. And if you can't 100% confirm that the item works, at least try to use some sort of tactic to make sure that they're on the level. Like what I said earlier when it comes to telling them that you're going to test the item just to see how they respond to it. Now, there is no 100% foolproof method in not getting scammed on Facebook Marketplace. Scammers are extremely smart and they update their scams and change the way they do things all the time because they are trying to rob you blind at any given moment. The best thing you can do is always stay vigilant and keep your guard up when you're talking to people about secondhand items on Facebook Marketplace or any other secondhand selling website or application that you do come across. Now, hopefully this video was a little bit helpful because I teach a lot of people how to build budget gaming PCs, and a lot of the parts that you find for those PCs are found on Facebook Marketplace. And the last thing that I would ever want to hear about is somebody that follows me has ever been scammed out of any of their money, because that's awful. I love all y'all. I don't want anyone to get scammed. And if I was helpful, you could consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the like button so you can help this video reach a larger audience, please. But even if you don't want to subscribe, I did want to let everyone know that no matter where you are in the world, I hope that you are having a fantastic day, and I'm going to see you right here for the next video.